is up, everyone? Welcome back, welcome back. Today we're gonna go on a little bit of an adventure, and that is using this jet boat to go up a river, something that I love to do. And wintertime bass fishing can be a little bit of a struggle. So I wanted to talk a little bit about like sort of the way I grew up bass fishing, and this is actually some of the best times of the year to actually go river fishing. The Southeast, also some of the only places you can go fishing if you're a Midwestern fisherman and there's only open water is some of the rivers. So we're gonna go out here, drop the jet boat in, and I'm gonna talk about some of the places that I'm looking for these bass and hopefully reel them in today. So let's go out there and see if we can't get after them. All right, so I got a small finesse jig tied on. And my goal is to sort of give you guys more of an understanding of like why I'm sort of doing some of the stuff I'm doing. It's actually not that cold. I'm about to take these gloves off, they're getting annoying. And rig up a smaller finesse jig, pick up a cleaner crawl, cut him down, sort of match him to the overall trailer, make him like more finessey. Maybe cut down these, so I like to cut down these little pinchers right here. You guys watch the top baits of the month sometimes. I'll do that, like cut the top one off on both sides. And that just makes it like more of like a traditional style chunk. Like it doesn't have the kicking action as much. So like as I like use them during the summertime, I'll just keep them as trailers for later on in the year, and they work pretty well. So these are my new rods I'm working on right now. It's the 2.0s. So we're gonna test those out a little bit today as well. Caught a lot of fish on it. And then the other thing that I got rigged up is, of course, you can't go wrong with a jerk bait. Like the jerk bait's a good one to go with. And then I have a Ned rig. So a Ned rig's always, you know, water temperatures right around that probably mid 50s to low 50s. The only other thing that I might put on is a mooch minnow. Probably will, but you know, just start off simple and easy. Pick up maybe like a green pumpkin magic on this guy. Keep it simple. Thing is, you don't have to go too complicated. A lot of the fishing that I did when I was growing up was like just fishing these rivers and places, and just fishing like the deeper places where those fish are going to congregate. And we'll talk more about like where the fish are going to set up at, but you don't have to go too crazy with it. But it does seem sometimes they'll want one over another. And I remember, especially like for when I first, like when the water's a little bit warmer like this, sometimes like those around the 50s, the jerk bait's the key. Like they'll still be in that little bit of current. They're still pretty fired up, but we'll find out today. So we're gonna make a little bit of a run up this little sucker right here and see if we can't get into it. So let's go do this thing. So first stop is just a little rock, basically a rock bluff. I don't really know if the big key this time of year overall in a lot of these rivers is you're looking for places where the current's a little bit more meandering. And what I mean by that is it's not as much current, because these fish don't want to deal with that all the time. So that being said, I'm sort of just pulling up here. I see the bottom right here, but these fish, deep is a relative term. So like where I grew up fishing the White River in Indiana, like it's not fluctuated by like big dams as much as like this river is. So this water, there's a lot of flow, and then it drops out, so it's zero like flow. I mean, 3 feet might be the most, like there's some deep water for them. So you got to sort of think of it a little bit differently. So we'll stop right here, make a few casts. It looks a little bit fast. There's one more current seam right there where these fish could probably set up. And a lot of these fish could be out here in the middle of the river on these seams and stuff. So we'll have to sort of make a few casts, see if we can catch one. All right, let's see if we can catch this one. I'll pick up a Ned rig real quick here. I don't really know if I want to. I like to pick up a jerk bait. A little bit of depth on these. Like sometimes these seams on these inside bends will be like where they actually congregate. So I'm just checking. It's a little heavy of a net. I mean, it's not bad for that Ned rig, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw a jerk bait, because if I can catch them throwing a jerk bait, I'd much rather do that. And sometimes these fish should. Well, heck, already got a snag. Ooh, so this is like sort of the perfect scenario right here. You got an inside bend, a little bit of depth, throwing that jerk bait and snapping it up a little bit right now, because I don't want to hit the bottom too much. Gosh, it's moving. There he is. Got us one. Oh, there's a couple more with him too. Look how pretty that fish is. First. Come here, he's got it weird too. Come here, buddy. Alright. Look how pretty this spot is. The water's so clean. Just such a pronounced line too. Like, gosh, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous. Look at that thing. I'm about to dang step it up because the dang current's ripping me back. You can see these big rocks right here. I think it's like probably a 13-incher. Really pretty fish though. But first fish of the day. Gotta start somewhere. Get off my glove, please. Alright, take these gloves off. It's too warm outside. You don't need them yet. So I was hoping a lot of times, this time of year specifically, these fish will set up in these little current seams and they'll be, that's their wintering spots. So they'll be like 10 or 12 or 20 or sometimes more than that in a seam. So you really want to pay attention to like whether you're fishing from the bank or fishing in a boat, like really where you get your bite at, because it could be like that's where all of them are sitting at. Turn this sucker on. Bites in the jerk. Oh, you didn't get it, giant dude. Oh, there's a giant. There's a whole bunch of them there. Yeah. That was a freaking big one, dude. Fudge! That was a dang big one. There's one. There's a whole bunch of them around here though. Alright. Now we got us one. Not the big ones. I just had one just bite me right there. And so what you got right here is you got this like deeper, a little channel right there. It's sort of the end of the pool. Again, that's not the biggest one, but I just saw like water's so clear I can see them. I just looked down and I was like, what's that? And it's a big green thing. I'm like, of course, you guys know how it is. The little one always bites it. So we're gonna go ahead and make a few more casts, and maybe there's some bait changes, or maybe there's something they want more than something else, but it's a good sign. We at least found a few. I mean, I'm sitting here in like maybe 2 foot of water, casting to 4. I see my bait the whole time, but I don't know if I need to work it faster to get those bigger ones to react. Didn't seem like they wanted to move real fast. Seemed like they were very apprehensive, but maybe not. We'll see. At least we found some. That's what's crazy. Is like, what the? A little bit better. Barely hooked though. There's a couple of them that come around with it. Gosh dang. Look at that spot right there. He's just so mean. Oh, don't do it. Oh, there's 3 or 4 with it. This one right here got hooked in the mouth and then just turning on me. All right, we hooked up, decent fish. This is a little bit better. There's been some big ones around in this area. He's got me running a little bit weird right here. All right, come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. This current's, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, please. There you go. That's a little bit better one right there. Okay, this current's ripping. A lot of times, you end up rolling to places that you think that, wintertime stuff, the water's probably in that low 50s, and they're in a little swifter current right here. I've had probably like 10 bites or 10 followers right down through there. That's a nice like 15 and a half, 16-inch spotted bass. I mean, about as pretty as they get. Like straight up is about as pretty as they get. And you're not always gonna catch the biggest ones like y'all, but I mean, there were some pretty dang nice ones, and that's the first of a decent. That's a good sized fish for this river, but not the biggest ones, that's for sure. All right, so this is a perfect example of like the tail end of the pool. Like, you know, if you're waiting, you're on the bank, you're deciding where you're gonna go just fishing in the river, you know, there's a deeper pool right here. Sort of see it sort of meander, and then the current starts ripping a little bit more down through here. So what I'm assuming, see, like a lot of times these fish will migrate. About every river they migrate to their wintering holes, and a lot of times that's adjacent to a deeper hole. And so I'm assuming these fish winter in this area down through here, and then I guess they probably just group up and feed down here because the current's a little bit faster. And that's a textbook place. Not exactly where I was expecting to find them. I was expecting more like hardcore wintering areas. But hey, I'm not complaining. Man, the little ones ain't got no problem. They straight doink your stuff. Biggins, not my best friends right now. I'm just really, it's really hard with that current ripping like it is. I'll let this guy go. See you, bro. They're real lethargic. You got to pop it around, pop, but they're shallow, and they're so much shallower. Got one right here. Down the baby boy stretch. Gosh, come on, calm down. Dude, they are the prettiest fish though. Like I think they're like the prettiest spotted bass that I've ever seen. Like if you just look at them, would you look at it? Look at that, like just a beautiful spotted bass. Just like, I mean, it doesn't get much prettier than that. When you really look at those fish, I mean, they're gorgeous. Sometimes when like in the wintertime, spotted bass really actually like and even largemouth, smallmouth, all of them, like more of an opaque, more of like a French pearl color. This current's tripping so hard, I'm trying to stay on them. But I'm gonna swap over and just see, because like sometimes it also sort of gives me an idea where my bait's at. This is water, like you see down like 5 feet. So, and the way these fish are biting, I need those red lines to get those fish to even. I mean, if I can't hook them on a red line, it ain't gonna be. I'm not even know they're there on other hooks. It's just crazy. So I feel like that Mavrik's diving the perfect depth. It's not a real deep diving jerk bait. Maybe it dives like 4 feet. So if I can keep that going, I think we're just gonna try the little white one. Go from there. Snowstorm. Backlash that damn line. What happened? Got 3 of them on it. Slow and steady. There's one. Jerking! Another little guy. Okay. Gotta switch it back. Golly, dude, what the heck? Calm down. Alright, so we just got to another little area that just got us another one. Another jerkbait bass, another 13-incher. Gosh dang. He was not coming off. I had one swat at it and just had another one bite it. Same sort of deal. This is sort of like this is more like a bluff end. That fish right there, man, they're gorgeous. I'm gonna let him go. I just had one swat at it, a little bit bigger. I don't know, they felt like they definitely liked that the Pro Blue a little bit better than maybe or just the area that I was fishing. Got a little more pressure, but so I went back to more the translucent color. It's interesting because they do like the little pop, the faster pops, but you just don't even know. You get a bite and all of a sudden you're like pop, and like you'll hook one and all of a sudden he's there. You never feel the bite because this current's a lot stronger than most of the rivers that I fish in the wintertime back home and all over the country. So it's a little bit different though on that jerk bait. You really got to keep your line taut and understand sort of what's going on, because a lot of your bites you never even feel. You're just sort of jerking into them. It's like, oh, there he is, you know. Itty bitty bass is right there, yeah. Itty bitty bass, itty bitty bass. Get away, leave me alone. Gotcha. You're fine. All right. I'm thankful, don't get me wrong, but you know, like back in Indiana, we'd be like, man, I caught 13 of them today, killed them. Bite was dang on fire. Time to go to the river, boys. Caught like 4 keepers. At least over 12 inches. They were giants, man. Man, it is time. There's never been a better time to go bass fishing. All right, that's for all my Indiana folks. Hung up in the tree again. It's how it is sometimes. It is what it is. All right, so that's a wrap for today. Man, that was that's a lot of fun. I'll tell you, I learned a lot today. And I don't know if it's for every fish, but especially in these rivers that go up and down, those fish are definitely not afraid of current. And water temperatures, like, well, up and down, fluctuating, you know, that much from dams. They're not afraid of current, and they're definitely seem like they were on the bottom ends of your pool. So if you got a big area that's you know, a little bit deeper stretch of water, they wanted to be on the bottom ends of those places where it sort of started to start up again, if you will. You know, start up a little bit more current, a little more flow. That they didn't want it to be in the slack stuff yet. So maybe if you're fishing the Midwest right now, you want to be in that slack stuff, 40, you know, low 40s water temperature. But down here in the South and Southeast, it seems like they still want a little flow. You gotta work this fish out. And now, could I have caught some on probably a Ned rig or switched up a little bit? I'm sure I could have, but only had about 3 or so hours a day, and half of that was running around. So I figured I would enjoy throwing a jerk bait in this, and I did. I saw several nice spotted bass that came after my bait, but did not bite it, and that is just part of it. So we're gonna go out there and get after them another day. But thank you all for following along, and hopefully you learned something, because I sure as heck did. And we'll see you on the next one. See y'all.